Okay, well, hello, my fellow sensitive people. I'm going to be giving you a pretty interesting, detailed remote. First off, I apologize about the lighting, but hey, it's night. I just finished a meditation. So, the first meditation that I'm going to be talking about, the first target subject was Joe Biden. And for those people who are just tuning in, I do a technique which is called the heart-centered remote viewing technique, and it's developed for people who are empathic and want to connect with people energetically. This is a technique that's been developed out of the Bon tradition. It's found in Tantra. Similar techniques are used by Native Americans in North America. Soul travel, etc., where you connect with another human being's heart and then they communicate with you. So basically that's what we're doing right now. So the subject, the person I opened my heart to who wanted to talk to us, was Joe Biden. So the first thing he wants people to know is that you will feel very safe voting for him in the coming days. And the reason for that is because you're going to be seeing him being very presidential. You're going to start seeing him showing up at disaster relief areas, meeting with victims of hurricanes, disasters, gun violence, etc. Just like his going to Wisconsin. We're going to be seeing more of that. And the purpose of why Joe Biden is doing this is, first off, to let people know how he's going to govern, because you'll get a preview, and also it stands in stark contrast to what we have now. This is giving Joe Biden an opportunity, now that he has the spotlight, to remind us of what an American president should act like. And so that's actually going to be what we see starting in September. September 19th, go ahead and mark it in your calendars, is a significant day for Joe Biden's campaign. But yeah, expect him to really present himself in a presidential way, and it's going to have a huge impact on the polls. Trump is sinking in the polls, and he will continue to drop in the polls. The weather, I'm seeing a massive hurricane. This looks like a mega storm system. It looks like it's headed southeast, and it could also hit parts of the northeast. So I'm concerned about Georgia, Carolinas, possibly Florida, but I have a bad feeling also about possible hurricane-like weather in northeastern United States as well. Okay, so those types of things could potentially be happening in the next month, possibly September, and we could be seeing Joe Biden stepping up and addressing that. The other thing we're going to start seeing from Joe Biden is that he's going to start telling people, this is what we should do, this is the plan, and talking with people who will become part of his cabinet so that they can create now cohesive plans for the disasters and the problems we're facing now. So we're going to start seeing that from him. So he says it's going to be a preview to see what the Biden presidency is going to look like. All right, I asked him if he was concerned about the election being stolen, and he said that he and the FBI are already on it. He said that he's already received threats and extortion threats. So he's contacted the FBI, and he showed me something like 7 separate investigations that are serious, ongoing threats or attempts to do some shenanigans to steal the election. So he's working very closely with the FBI to make sure. I like his imagery, by the way. He says to make sure it's a fair fight. Yeah. So I like his imagery where he uses like boxing imagery. So the way he talks, like with the FBI, it's also that he knows his rights. And so when he talks to the FBI, when he talks to these people in these organizations that have kind of been floundering without leadership, there's this feeling like now there's a leader that has come in. So Biden is the voice of sanity. in the middle of all of this, but definitely multiple threats Biden has received. Okay, so the other thing that I looked at, people asked me to look at, is Robert Mueller. And Robert Mueller always gets his man. What happened? What went wrong? Well, if you go back to the remotes, I said that the real investigation was not the Mueller report, and that nothing was going to come from the Mueller report, and we would never see the entire Mueller report anyway, that the real investigation was somewhere else, and the real investigation was overseas money schemes to avoid taxes, which had cost the American people trillions of dollars in back taxes. That money that was siphoned off, basically, the American Treasury. So that was always the real investigation, people in DC being bribed, etc. So Mueller did investigate that stuff, and he certainly found ties to that. And then he would take that, as I mentioned in those remotes, and then he would hand it over to the FBI, which often had already an existing investigation. Each investigation was compartmentalized. So that's why we'll see the arrest of, say, Igor, and then we'll see the Cohen arrest. They're all working on a different investigation, but in the grand scheme of things, they're all connected, and those are all separate FBI investigations. So the investigations did continue, but Mueller was not tasked to put it in the report or to continue down that road. It was simply when he met the road for that particular investigation, it was sent on its way. People were concerned that the investigation had not gone forward. Obviously, with the arrests that have happened since Trump has been in the White House, it's obvious that the investigation has gone on, particularly with like Assange being arrested and Roger Stone being arrested, and et cetera, et cetera. All right, so I think that's all I have for you guys, and thanks for watching this remote viewing, and be sure and share, and I'll see you next time, and subscribe. Bye-bye. Thank you.